I'm Sofia Rivera, 35 years old, and I never imagined my own family could destroy me at the place I saved from ruin. It was our traditional Sunday dinner at Rivera's Kitchen in downtown Phoenix. The restaurant was packed, the aroma of my grandmother's recipes filling the air. I'd spent 2 years rebuilding this place after COVID nearly killed it, pouring my life savings and the money from selling my tech startup into keeping our family legacy alive. Then my father's voice cut through the dinner conversation like a knife. Sofia, we need to talk. You're suffocating us with your so-called help. We want our independence back. You're more of a burden than a blessing. We want you out of our business and our lives. The words hit like a sledgehammer. My mother nodded, avoiding my eyes. My sister Carmen smirked, twirling her wine glass. My brother Diego stared at his plate, silent. The nearby tables fell quiet, sensing the tension. My chest burned, but I didn't break. Instead, I did something that surprised even me. I smiled. A slow, calculated smile. I pulled out my phone, never breaking eye contact with my father. You want independence, Papa? Perfect. Let me help you get exactly that. Have you ever been betrayed by the ones you sacrificed everything for? Share your story in the comments. Tell me where you're watching from and hit subscribe to see how I gave them the independence they begged for. The next morning, I sat in my downtown apartment, laptop open, fingers hovering over the keyboard. My boyfriend Alex brought me coffee, his eyes filled with concern. You sure about this? He asked. I nodded, my jaw set. They'd made their choice. Now I was making mine. I pulled up the business portal for Rivera's Kitchen. What my family didn't realize was that when I saved the restaurant, everything went through my company. The lease. Under my business name. The equipment loans. My credit. The liquor license. My signature. Even the POS system and website hosting. All tied to my accounts. I started with the small things first. Click. The restaurant's premium Wi-Fi plan. Cancelled. Click. The high-end POS system that processed all their orders. Service terminated. Click. The professional food photography service for their social media. Gone. Each cancellation felt like removing shackles I'd been wearing for years. But I was just getting started. I opened another tab and logged into the restaurant's Google business account. I'd set it up, managed it, responded to every review for 2 years. My finger hovered over the Transfer Ownership button. Then I saw it. Dozens of 5-star reviews I'd personally responded to, building the restaurant's reputation from 2.1 stars to 4.7 stars. Instead of transferring it, I did something else. I clicked Delete Business Listing. Gone. 2 years of reputation building, vanished. Let them start over from zero, just like I had to. Alex watched me work, sipping his coffee. They have no idea what's coming, do they? He said. I shook my head, opening the restaurant's social media accounts. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all created and managed by me. 15,000 followers who came for the food content I'd created and posted. I changed the passwords, then deactivated every account. My phone buzzed. Carmen's name flashed on the screen. I let it ring. Then Diego called. Then Papa. I ignored them all. They wanted independence. They were about to get more than they bargained for. 3 hours later, I was still at my laptop when my phone exploded with calls. Papa's voice was panicked when I finally answered. Sofia, what's happening? The card readers aren't working. The Wi-Fi is down. Our Google listing is gone. I leaned back in my chair, my voice steady and cold. You said you wanted independence, Papa. You said I was suffocating you. I'm just giving you what you asked for. This is insane, he shouted. Turn everything back on now. No, I said simply. You don't get to call me a burden and then demand my help. I hung up, blocking his number immediately. But the real shock was still coming. I pulled up the restaurant's lease agreement, the one I'd personally guaranteed when the landlord wanted to evict them during COVID. My business was the primary leaseholder. I drafted an email to the property management company. Please be advised that Rivera Digital Solutions will not be renewing the lease for Rivera's Kitchen. Our tenancy will conclude at the end of this month. Send. Done. They had 30 days. Alex sat beside me, his hand on my shoulder. You know they'll come crawling back, he said. I nodded, but my mind was already 3 steps ahead. I'd spent years carrying their dreams while they took credit for my work. The restaurant's successful relaunch? They told customers it was all family tradition. The social media growth? They claimed it was word of mouth. The 5-star reviews? They said it was their improved cooking. I opened my portfolio website, adding a new case study, Restaurant Digital Transformation, Rivera's Kitchen. I included before and after photos, revenue charts, social media growth metrics. Everything I'd accomplished for them, now documented as my professional work. If they wanted to erase me from their story, I'd erase them from mine. 1 week later, my phone rang constantly. I'd unblocked them just to hear their desperation. Carmen called first, her voice shaking. Sophia, we can't take orders. The systems are all down. I sipped my morning coffee, watching the sunrise from my balcony. That's tough, Carmen. Maybe you should have thought about that before you smirked during Papa's little speech. You're destroying us, she screamed. No, I said calmly. I'm freeing you. Isn't that what you wanted? Diego tried next, his tone more pleading. Bro, this is going too far. People are asking about the restaurant online, and we can't even respond. Our reservations system is gone. I almost laughed. Diego, you sat there silent while Papa humiliated me. You had your chance to speak up. You were just being a coward, I said, hanging up. But the call that really tested my resolve came from my mother. Her voice was barely a whisper. Mija, please. We're struggling. The restaurant. It's all we have. My chest tightened, but I didn't waver. Mama, you had me. You had someone who loved you enough to give up everything. And you threw it away. The silence on the other end was deafening. When she spoke again, her voice was broken. We made a mistake, Mija. A terrible mistake. Yes, you did, I said softly. And now you have to live with it. I hung up, my hands trembling slightly. Even though I knew I was right, hearing my mother's pain still cut deep. That afternoon, I got the call I'd been expecting. My cousin Roberto, who worked at the local food blog Phoenix Eats, called with news that didn't surprise me. Hey Sophia, what's going on with Rivera's Kitchen? Word is spreading fast. Their Google listing disappeared, social media went dark, and customers are complaining they can't make reservations. I smiled. I wouldn't know, Roberto. I'm not involved with the restaurant anymore. Wait, seriously? But you're the one who saved that place. That's what I thought too, I said. Turns out they didn't see it that way. The story spread through Phoenix's tight-knit food community like wildfire. Rivera's Kitchen, once the comeback story everyone celebrated, was now the cautionary tale everyone whispered about. The family that turned on their own savior. 2 weeks later, Alex and I were having dinner at our favorite sushi place when he showed me his phone. Look at this, he said, pulling up Facebook. Carmen had posted a desperate plea on the community food groups. Please support Rivera's Kitchen. We're a family business going through technical difficulties. Any support appreciated. The comments were brutal. Former customers shared screenshots of unanswered messages, complaints about broken reservation systems, and confusion about why their social media disappeared. One comment stood out. Isn't this the place where the daughter rebuilt everything after COVID and then the family kicked her out? Heard it from my friend who works at Phoenix Eats. Carmen had tagged me in the post. I clicked on it, reading her desperate message. Sophia, if you see this, please call. We need to talk. I didn't respond. But I did screenshot it and send it to Roberto with a simple message. Looks like they're ready to talk about that story now. 3 weeks after the dinner from hell, I got a text from an unknown number. It was my father, messaging from a customer's phone because I'd blocked his number. The landlord served us eviction papers. We have 1 week left. Please, we can work this out. I stared at the message for a long time. Alex found me on the balcony, looking out at the Phoenix skyline. Second thoughts? He asked. I shook my head. They had years to appreciate what I did. They had years to treat me like family instead of an ATM. They chose to call me a burden in front of a restaurant full of people. She squeezed my hand. So what's next? I pulled out my phone, opening my business website. I'd been getting inquiries from other restaurant owners who'd heard about my work with Rivera's Kitchen. 3 different establishments wanted to hire me for digital transformations. Next, I show them what they lost. That evening, I drafted a LinkedIn post with photos of Rivera's Kitchen's transformation. The before and after shots, the revenue growth charts, the 5-star reviews I'd cultivated. The caption read, 2 years ago, I helped save a family restaurant on the brink of closure. Today, I'm available to help other restaurant owners achieve similar transformations. Sometimes the best lessons come from knowing when to walk away. The post went viral in Phoenix's business community. By morning, I had 7 new client inquiries and dozens of comments from people sharing their own stories of family business betrayals. Rivera's Kitchen closed 2 days later. A handwritten sign in the window read, "Closed for renovations." But everyone in Phoenix knew the truth. 4 months later, I was thriving. My consulting business, Rivera Digital Solutions, had helped 5 restaurants achieve major transformations. I'd tripled my income from what I made at my old tech job. Alex and I had moved in together, planning a future that was entirely ours. I heard through the grapevine that my family had scattered. Papa took a job as a line cook at a chain restaurant. Carmen moved to Tucson, her reputation in Phoenix's food scene destroyed. Diego was driving for Uber, still too proud to call and apologize. Mama was living with her sister, heartbroken but stubborn. One evening, Alex and I were walking through downtown Phoenix when we passed the old Rivera's Kitchen location. There was a for lease sign in the window, and someone had spray painted over our family name on the building. Any regrets? Alex asked. I thought about it for a moment, remembering the years I'd spent believing that family loyalty meant endless sacrifice. None, I said. They taught me the most valuable lesson I ever learned. Which is that you can't save people who don't want to be saved. And you can't force people to value what you bring to their lives. I squeezed her hand. But when you find people who do value you, you hold on to them. We kept walking, leaving the ghost of Rivera's Kitchen behind us. My phone buzzed with a notification. Another restaurant owner wanting to discuss a digital transformation project. The family that called me a burden had set me free to build something better. And I was just getting started. If you've ever been betrayed by family, remember this. Your worth isn't determined by how they treat you. Sometimes the greatest revenge is simply succeeding without them. Have you faced family betrayal? How did you overcome it? Share your story in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories of turning pain into power. The best part? 6 months later, I got a wedding invitation in the mail. My cousin Roberto was getting married. And the venue? A beautiful restaurant whose digital transformation I'd just completed. The irony was perfect. I RSVP'd yes. After all, I had a lot to celebrate.